So many Porsches. There's just a lot of them in this game now, and the additions don't seem to stop. How are we doing, everyone? DJ Atomika here again with Stryker and Transporter, and we've got a pair of Porsches to check out today. The Panamera Turbo S Sport Turismo and the Cayenne Turbo GT. It's crazy, ain't it, Transporter? We just came from checking out an Uber wagon in Forza Horizon 5, and now here we are in TC2, checking out another one. From the same auto group, no less.
VW Group might be working on a takeover, it seems, but with just Porsche. We might see new Audis in the future, who knows? Newer VWs would be an interesting welcome. But as for Bugatti, now that they're owned by Mate Rimac, who knows if we'll see another special Chiron, the Bolide, or even the Mistral Roadster in this game.
One thing's for certain, this Stuttgart company is making their name well known in Motor Nation.
Yeah, but Mercedes-Benz is also located in Stuttgart. Why don't we see more of those in the crew too?
Well, let's not question why the three-pointed star company are bypassing such a great open-world racer. The make with the Württemberg and Stuttgart coat of arms on its shield is taking the advantage of all this publicity, so we might as well indulge, right? Tell us about both cars, Transporter, and I think I know which one you're starting with.
You know me so well. Yes, I'm going to start with the Panamera Turbo S Sport Turismo. The Panamera has always been a 5-door, but if you wanted an even bigger boot and a cool swoopy wagon look to your Panamera, you would go for the Sport Turismo. And you should, as it just looks so much more complete than the standard saloon. In the wagon wars between it, the AMG E63 S Estate and the RS6 Avant. This one's the most powerful, utilising the same 4-litre twin-turbo V8 engine found in the RS6, but with power boosted up to 620 horsepower instead of 591. Plus, because the Panamera Turbo S possesses Porsche's clever all-wheel drive system and rapid quick 8-speed dual-clutch PDK transmission, it's capable of hitting 60 from a standstill in under 30 seconds and go on to a top speed of 196 miles per hour, all while weighing almost 2.5 tons, 4,729 pounds to be exact.
Man, wow. I remember my days at Crash FM, reading the papers and watching commercials of Porsche introducing these new front-engine cars, the Cayenne and the Panamera, and thinking, man, those are some ugly-looking things. I mean, eventually they sort of grew on me, but I just did not know what Porsche were thinking when they designed those cars initially. It felt like they were trying to make an SUV and a sedan look like a 911, or morph a 911 into an SUV or saloon. I don't know. Over the years, though, it seemed they learned their design mistakes and improved on them. Now they look properly good. The Cayenne has a prominent face, but it's a cooler face than its initial first-gen face, and the Panamera now looks so presentable. This wagon, man. If I had the money, I'd buy one and do lots of drag racing and grocery shopping with it.
You know, Black Panther has one, right?
Hey, what? That man still owes me money.
I'm pretty sure you owe him money.
Oh, yeah, maybe I do owe him money.
Better pay the piper. Anyway, speaking of the Cayenne, another car in this bundle is the Cayenne Turbo GT. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Transporter, but is this the fastest SUV in the world right now?
Partially. The Cayenne Turbo GT will only do 186 miles per hour, while the Aston Martin DBX 707 will crack 195 miles per hour, making it the fastest SUV in the world. Where the Cayenne Turbo GT really shines, however, is in the bends, which it shows well at the Nürburgring, where it currently holds the SUV record at 7 minutes and 38.925 seconds. The DBX 707 could beat that, since it's a bit more agile, a lot more powerful and a bit lighter. But it hasn't yet, so the Cayenne Turbo GT still reigns supreme. I still sort of find it weird that we're in this age where big, lumbering SUVs can corner like nimble sports cars. I mean, the Cayenne Turbo GT, even though it's an SUV, was not built to be an all-terrain type of vehicle. Porsche designed it for one terrain, asphalt. It sits lower to the ground, has sticky, ultra-high performance tyres with lightweight wheels, a powerful twin-turbocharged V8 engine, and improved aero, even on its active spoiler. What's ironic though, is that even with all the work they did, trying to lighten the Cayenne Turbo GT so that it would sprint and corner faster, it still weighs 5,000 pounds. So you're still lumbering a lot of weight around.
That does make it a porker, but aren't all the other SUVs and trucks in this game really heavy as well? Plus, that they aren't as aerodynamic as this Cayenne, aren't they? We might be looking at the newest best SUV in the game here.
You may be right, but then again, not many of the SUVs in this game are truly aerodynamic. except maybe the Mercedes-Benz GLC 254 Matic. But even that SUV doesn't have the brutal power that the Cayenne Turbo GT has, which maxed out makes it the most powerful Porsche in the game at over 1100 horsepower.
Which is crazy powerful, but the Panamera Turbo S Sport Turismo maxed out also makes about that much power. Don't both cars have the same engine?
They do, a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, which produces 631 horsepower in the Cayenne Turbo GT and 620 in the Panamera Turbo S Sport Turismo. There is, however, another front-engine Porsche we're forgetting.
Which one?
I think I know. The 928 S4, right?
Correct. When we first drove that car in this game, it was really lackluster. Ivory Tower has since improved on that car's performance. So what do you say? Should we toss that car into our leaderboard comparisons?
I'm thinking we should.
Definitely a good idea. The other Porsches in Street Race are either mid-engined or rear-engined. It might be a good idea to see which front-engine Porsche is best here.
What about SUVs? We should also see if the Cayenne Turbo GT finally dethrones the Escalade.
We'll definitely do that, but probably at a later date. There's just so much going on this weekend, and testing these cars is going to take some time.
Then take all the time you need, my friend. We have to see if these Porsches are worthy of joining the Porsche fold. Mostly comprised of some of the best cars in the street race discipline. Will the Panamera Turbo S Sport Turismo show its swoopy wagon dominance? Is the Cayenne Turbo GT a true heavy force of corner carving nature? Has the 928 S4 improved enough to contend with these cars as well as some of the best classics of the discipline? Let's answer those questions by finding out here in these races and comparisons. Enjoy, everyone! those are some pretty interesting times. I'm inclined to believe that the Cayenne Turbo GT might be one of the game's slowest Porsches, but it's still pretty fast for a heavy SUV. I reckon the Escalade or X5M will have a difficult time trying to catch this track utility vehicle.
Speaking of track utility vehicle, you know what else is strange? This car's classification type. Instead of sorting it with the other utility vehicles, which includes most SUVs and trucks, the Cayenne Turbo GT is placed under sports. I mean, it kinda makes sense. It's an SUV tuned for the track, but it's still a practical SUV in the end.
True, but besides it finishing behind the Panamera in those races, it also finished behind the 928 S4 in those races as well. Ivory Tower really improved that car's performance, if you ask me.
That they did, Stryker. So, Transporter, your final thoughts? What did you think of this unique Porsche bundle of twin-turbo V8 Super Tourers?
Overall, both cars are relatively decent and somewhat competitive, which is okay in my book. I mean, both cars are insanely powerful and pretty heavy as well, but they perform pretty well for their size. In the case of the Panamera Turbo S Sport Turismo, because it sits lower and is wider, even though both cars are capable of equipping wider fenders, it's a lot more stable and grippy, and it doesn't roll in the corners or understeer too much. It doesn't, however, have that supercar performance hidden in a luxury car body that the BMW M8 has. Still, this is the game's fastest wagon, because it's the game's only wagon. No, the Combi is a bus, not a wagon. As for the Cayenne Turbo GT, in that car, you can definitely feel its weight through the corners. It rolls even more when turning at high speeds than the Panamera does. And even though it's powerful and has all-wheel drive, it has some difficulty putting that power to the floor, especially under nitrous. Still, with its crazy top speed of 248 miles per hour, decent handling, and high acceleration for an SUV, I reckon this car is truly the game's newest best SUV. Let's not forget about the 928 S4, now newly improved. It still gets a lot of wheel spin off the line, but its handling is truly sublime. Very grippy, doesn't roll or oversteer, and you can be as precise as you want with it. Initially, I painted this car as something to ignore or bypass. Now, though, it's something you probably don't want to miss out on, as it's now scary fast.
This is great, isn't it? 80s and 90s cars are finally making big waves in this game, and I am here for it.
I've always loved retro cars. Still, I would take the Panamera Turbo S Sport Turismo as my daily. It looks so cool with it having wide fenders and all.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 brand new Porsches for you to collect this week, and they're sort of competitive in their own way. We'll return later to see if the Cayenne Turbo GT is the king of SUVs. Plus, there's a slew of Alpha GP cars that we have to look at, and it's going to be a big comparison test, right?
Correct, one huge test to see once and for all. Which F1 car in this game is the best?
That Proto Mark II has been killing it recently, but maybe Spear Racing can bounce back with their new concept and their KTM prototype. I can't wait to see that.
Hopefully we won't have to wait too long. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss that upload when it drops. And you're gonna need to see it for future AGP events and live summits, believe me. Thanks to Stryker and Transporter for the assist and the driving today. On behalf of them, this is DJ Atomika, signing off for the day on Transporter FM. We'll see you next time.